Welcome back to RichTalk. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Well, thank you guys. It's been great. It's just been a crazy couple of weeks, but we're happy to be back. So thank you all for your time. Yes, I have a guest with me today. Also, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to our channel. We're creating some new content, and we want to engage with you. All right. So today's talk is the title of today's talk may change a bit, but the framework is really going over accepting feedback. Okay. So when I mean accepting feedback, I'm talking about hearing the responses that come from someone who is in your space and taking that response and using it to fuel your action. All right. So in accepting feedback, many times what is stopping us from making a leap from one point to another point is that we're not coachable. We're just simply not coachable. So many of us, we like for things to be said to us that are great. You know, we sound great about ourselves. Someone saying awesome things about us. But in order to pivot and in order to make adjustments, no one is perfect and no one knows it all. And so it is very wise to listen to the steps of a man who've driven down a street of potholes. Life is a street that is not straight. Life is a street that is filled with potholes and digs and precipice all around. And a wise man will listen to the counsel of another man who's driven down that street. Okay? Who's avoided those potholes and those types of things. So, for example, from a practical sense, someone may have, for example, moved from a entry-level position to a tenured position, right? Or say, for example, someone may have been in banking, right? You're trying to get in banking. You don't know what's necessary in order to get into banking. It probably would be wise, right, to listen to the advice of the person who's been involved in banking before, because this person can actually give you tactical and real life tangible instructions on how to be successful in that particular space. And so when I'm talking about accepting feedback, I'm talking about don't turn the light off. Don't just like turn your brain off, just like Operation Shutdown. No, be very open. Be very open and allow yourself to receive this information. Now, sometimes you have people who don't care about you, so they like to be negative. So it is your job to decipher whether the person is genuine. Now, if the advice is coming from someone who actually cares about you, who in the past has done things to help you, it probably would be an individual who actually cares about you. Now, if it was probably from an individual who has said negative things towards you or was probably adversarial or combative to you, then that tells you, right, that is a person who is not looking for your best interest at heart. You know, maybe they're probably just trying to make you second guess yourself. The next point is to accept feedback from your enemy. That's right, I said it. Your enemy. Your enemy and my enemy. Those individuals who we may not take liking to. Those people who have said things to us that we don't like. These enemies in our life are people who are placed there strategically, and there's still something that you can learn from them. Classic case in point. I had a boss previously who was a sociopath. I thought the guy was a sociopath. I mean, the guy was bonkers crazy. Sweetie, he was crazy. I mean, he was crazy. But there was still a lot of things that I could learn from him. Sorry, sweetie pie. There was still a lot that I can learn from him. For example, if I said I'm going to meet up with the rest of the team in the afternoon, he would say to me, "What time do you meet?" Now, I spoke in generalities. I would say afternoon, but working with this man over time, though he was condescending, though he was very difficult to deal with, there was a lot that I learned because this man was so detailed. I mean, when he was doing planning, he was just very minute in the things that he would look on. He would, for example, if we were creating a project plan, he would actually put in the project plan the time it took to create the project plan, and not just the actual execution of the project deliverables. He would actually input the time it took to create a test plan, the time it create to create a test query. I mean, this guy was really detailed, but those are things that I learned. And now I had another boss later on, who was, I guess you could say he's a sociopath too. I mean, I don't know. But the person that I am today is not necessarily just a mature, strong individual, but who I am today is a sum total of the decisions I've made, but also the person that I have worked with and interfaced with, even though they may have not been a good fit between them and I, but there's still some things that I could have learned from them. And so one of the individuals that I worked with before, he would manage me, and he would make a big deal. So for example, if I was creating a risk management plan, or say I was doing scope management plan, he wasn't necessarily just concerned about the information being accurate. He was also concerned about the presentation of it. Richard, make sure that you have a proper color scheme. If you have a particular color scheme on a cover page, make sure that it kind of organizes itself throughout the rest of your deliverable. And so I was just accustomed to just creating a project plan or a risk management plan or a scope management plan and making sure it was accurate. But he was very well in tune with how the font size was, right? Making sure you keep a consistent font size throughout. I mean, knowing when to use italics and when not to use italics. I mean, the guy was pretty detailed. He was also big on PowerPoint. So for example, if there was something technical that I did, so say for example, I did a entity relationship diagram, for example, of a particular software, he wanted to actually see that depicted in a visual sense. So again, just to leave you with a few words, we're in a holiday season and it's all about having a wonderful time. But just to kind of just help you, I want to just remind you just to take time to listen to the advice that's being given to you. Okay, all right, everybody, peace out. It's been a wonderful time talking to you all. Please hit the subscribe button.
Wait.
Okay, what else you want to say?
I need my talk.
Okay, all right, say thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button.
Boop. All right, take care.
Bye.